TIL that Seth MacFarlane was only 24 when he made Family Guy. My dad was really offended by MacFarlane's Oscar hosting gig. Like someone had left a bag of poo on his porch level of indignation. This was odd because he never watched the Oscars. Like never in the entire time I've known him, even to this day. And being used to talk at the breakfast table on Sunday about how funny Howard Stern was and what antics he got up to. Story time. I first met Seth when he worked as an artist at Hanna-Barbera. It was take your kid to work day and so they let us do a bunch of cool stuff. Seth sat us down and taught us about how they storyboard cartoons, then worked with us to storyboard a new cow and chicken scene. He was super nice and friendly. He had graduated RISD and held a massive grudge against many of his more experimental teachers there, who were against the concept of funny cartoons. Never underestimate a frustrated person's motivation when trying to express himself. How old did you think he is? One of the first episodes was about the upcoming Y2K lol. I think Family Guy has become so ubiquitous people don't realize how long it's been on. It came out just a couple of years after South Park. He was probably in the last group of animators where it was more of a job training program apprenticeship before the market became more competitive and such trainings are almost non-existent anymore. The real deal for me, here, is that there's only a 2-year gap between Johnny Bravo and Family Guy. I had to look it up to be sure that he wasn't, like, 15 when he was writing for Johnny Bravo. For better or worse, I really think that he is a modern polymath. The guy can sing, voice act, animate, write and produce. I really hope the Orville gets renewed for season 4. Only 24. The vast majority of genius ideas, music, concepts, etc. occur before the age of 27. Logan's Run was on point, the movie, not the book. Seth MacFarlane also missed his plane on Sept 11, 2001 because he overslept. That same plane he should have been on was involved in the terrorist attacks. One of my middle school teachers who went to the same school as him, said he and his friend would constantly make Beavis and Butthead impressions. Oh come on, the Oscars gag was hilarious. If you're 10, or mentally 10. My brother and I love Star Wars, but we find ourselves quoting the Family Guy parodies whenever we rewatch the original trilogy. Man, when they played that first episode after the Super Bowl and they had jokes making fun of Nazis, I was hooked. It was great. Much as I'm not a Family Guy fan, I gotta say I'm glad he found the level of success he did with it, 'cause it gave us the Orville. Hey, what about a rounder, dumber Homer? Eh? And it'll be cheaper to make than The Simpsons. Now you're talking. John Singleton was 24 when he was nominated for Best Director for Boys in the Hood. 23 when he made the movie. I kind of feel this isn't that shocking. 24 is a good age to be really fresh and in a zeitgeist with comedy. I love Family Guy. Seth is a god. I can watch the same episodes over and over and still make me laugh. In related news, I'm pretty sure Douglas Adams was the same age when he wrote Hitchhiker's Guide. He was also supposed to be on one of the flights of 9/11 but was hungover and missed his flight. First thing I see when I open Reddit and with the pic I thought he died. FML, my heart jumped. You mean a 24-year-old made Family Guy and all those ingenious, intelligent jokes? Amazing. Just gonna come here to plug the Orville, one of the best sci-fi shows of all time. Emo. Well, that explains why it's at the intelligence level of a horny 14-year-old moron. Such a shame he's passed. Curious to see what else he would have created. He was also supposed to be on one of the planes on 9/11 but overslept. When I was 24 I had just finished a 6-year run of being a legal adult. You need to have grown up in the 80s and still be a teenager. Big deal. I once pooped my pants at 24. That's easily equivalent. Family Guy is literally older than Seth when he first made it. This explains why he has been the same age since I was a kid. 24 and I've almost graduated college after 7 years. Feels bad. Those first 3 seasons were such a breath of fresh air. His wiki TLDR, rich kid had more opportunities than you. It shows. The target audience seems to be 6-year-olds. Kiefer Sutherland was in 24 when he played Jack Bauer. That's so crazy I committed plagiarism at 24 as well. How old was he when he was in Star Trek Enterprise?